So I'm making this video here because there was some confusion about if this is a parallel fusion or not. I understand the confusion, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make this video here just to clear something up real quick. Now, I'm going to be disabling some of the things. So, of course, whenever we check the distance from the power and sand, I would have the I would have the slap bust and the hammer disabled, and so on and so on. Also, the scatter and stuff like that's going to be disabled. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you a few clips in very, very slow motion, and hopefully everybody will agree with me after this video. Alright, so the first thing is going to be the sand. And I'm going to go ahead and take it in slow motion. And right there, as you see when it blows up right there, you'll see that all the sand is at the trapdoor. Well, of course, it doesn't really show it, but it is. Right here we have the hammer. And it doesn't really look like it, so I'm going to frame it. You see it going to dip a little bit now. This right here is the final distance before it's getting shot, so it's right above the trapdoor. So that's pretty much how that goes. Next up, we have the slap bust. It just falls from the top, so there's no really difference right there. So, from what you guys saw, everything is as close to the trapdoor as possible. Now, parallel fusion does not determine or doesn't say that all the thing has to be exactly inside one block. So you're never gonna find a cannon that can make. Or you probably can actually. Now I have a few ways, but it's rare. Okay, it's not. Parallel fusion doesn't have to be everything inside perfectly one block. So you can have your sand and your TNT inside this one block right here, like perfectly inside it. So on this cannon right here, of course, the sand is not going to be exactly inside this block. So is the hammer. It's not going to be exactly inside this block. Now the slap bust is closest to the power than any like sand or slap bust, because it comes from the top, meaning it just lands directly onto the trapdoor. It has plenty of time to just land on top of it. Just chill here for a second, doing some tea before it's getting shot out. Now, there's a difference between the slap bust and the hammer and the sand, for that matter, is because we need the booster to boost it first over to this point right here. Then there is going to be an early piston pushing it out. Because I say early is because we want that dip. We want to make sure that the hammer lands on top of this trapdoor right here. So I have an early piston where it pushes this the scatter and the hammer out a little bit too early, not as soon as the power goes off, because then you would get it. Then you would have your hammer right here and your slap bust, your scatter. You don't want that. So I have an early piston pushing it out, and then it's going to chill here for a second, and then gives it time to dip a little bit. It's not going to dip as much as the slap bust, since the slap bust have plenty of time to just dip all the way down to the trapdoor and just chill there for a second. There's a difference between that and this one right here. But the hammer and the scatter does dip as far down to the trapdoor as pretty much possible. There's this little distance. There's not really much, as you saw. There's not really much a difference, but it's there. Yet it's not completely inside a block. So none of these things is completely inside a block. The only thing that's very close to the power, like as close as you can get, is the slap bust, because as I said before, it just has time to sit there in the trapdoor for a second. The sand is a little bit different. The sand is a little bit different because, as you saw in the picture, you'll see sand going into this trapdoor as well as a little bit above it. So in the final seconds, you didn't really see. It might have fallen even closer. So it's going to be inside this block right here, but also a little bit onto this cobblestone right here. But it gives the same effect. It's not really a different that you are gonna feel. The only problem you will find with this parallel fusion is that the hammer is going to explode before time, and that is because the hammer, as I said, is not going to be directly onto the trapdoor. Since we're gonna need to have time for the booster to boost it, we're gonna have time for the hammer, or sorry, the power to be boosted up to this point. It's not gonna be right like at the trapdoor. It's not gonna be like sitting on the trapdoor. And that might be the difference that you guys see when using this cannon, is that the hammer is going to to blow up first, but of course it's just easy. Just add a tick and you'll be able to go far further with that. But this right here is pretty much everything is inside, or as close as the trapdoor as it can get.